Blake Lively just pulled the plug on her lawsuit against Justin Baldoni because her own web of lies finally collapsed in public.
As I said, today is the big day of Blake Lively's deposition.
The filings made it painfully clear Blake had no real evidence to back up her claims. Even her own interviews contradicted her case, painting her more as the villain than the victim. Now, the truth is out, and the illusion she built has completely shattered.
Saying that it was because of the smear campaign that she did to herself.
After months of running a courtroom circus, spinning narratives, and gaslighting the media, Blake's entire legal charade is finally crashing down. She's been hopping from one lie to the next like a game of legal hopscotch, assuming no one would catch on. But today, the act ends, and the popcorn-worthy downfall officially begins.
Also said that she never wanted to go public with this information, meaning that she's contradicting herself when she said that Baldoni was a danger.
Her deposition day has finally arrived, and it's the one time Blake might actually have to step out from behind Instagram filters and red carpet distractions to face real questions. But let's be honest, with her history of dodging accountability, she's probably already rehearsing another excuse. This is the same woman who disappeared from her own film set blaming everything from sick kids to bad energy. So will she even show up? Who knows? Either way, the damage is done.
Never believed that. And what she's saying now, that she got all this support from other victims when her experience wasn't that bad and she never wanted to go public with it.
The public has had enough. Blake can't even keep her own story straight. One second it's a harassment sob story, the next she's brushing it off like it's no big deal. Which is it? And then there's Ryan Reynolds, jumping in like he's the PR savior of the year, only to throw more fuel on the fire. Instead of damage control, he managed to make both of them look even worse.
That put Ryan Reynolds in big trouble with his statement.
And speaking of Ryan, let's not forget his train wreck of a moment at the Deadpool and Wolverine premiere back in July 2024. Standing in front of the entire industry, he didn't just take a shot, he detonated a bomb, calling Justin Baldoni a predator on the red carpet.
Remember, Ryan Reynolds came out and called Justin Baldoni a predator?
Let me say that again, a predator. Not in court filings. Not in a closed-door mediation. Ryan Reynolds said it out loud, in public, like he was auditioning for open mic night at the Slander Club. And his excuse? Freedom of speech. Right, because slandering someone on a red carpet apparently counts as a personality now. It wasn't a defense. It was a disaster.
Said that the smear campaign was much worse than the actually alleged SH.
But here's where the hypocrisy really hits. Blake herself later admitted the whole thing wasn't even that bad. Let that sink in. She built an entire victim persona, dragged names through the dirt, orchestrated headlines, and then downplayed the whole incident like it was a minor misunderstanding. So while Ryan's calling people predators, Blake's shrugging it off, and the rest of us are left trying to decode this circus of contradictions they call a marriage.
He said that he could say that because it was freedom of speech and he believed him to be a predator.
And Ryan's big mouth? Yeah, it had consequences. Right after his little meltdown, Justin Baldoni's management, WME, dropped him like he was radioactive. Coincidence? Not a chance. Leaked audio from Ari Emanuel, former CEO of WME, basically confirmed the whole sabotage plot. It wasn't a fallout. It was a takedown.
Ari Emanuel said that he always trusted Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, and he was basically saying that F Justin Baldoni.
Emanuel admitted, on tape, that he trusted Blake and Ryan more than Baldoni, despite Blake's story crumbling at every turn. The favoritism was obvious. The reputational damage? Surgical. Watching this unfold feels less like a scandal and more like a masterclass in weaponized celebrity, two stars using their fame as a wrecking ball until receipts started rolling in.
Blake Lively herself said that this wasn't really bad, and that put Ryan Reynolds in big trouble with his statement, something that I didn't think about here.
And let's be honest, this reckless smear campaign is absolutely going to come back to haunt them. Legal experts are already circling like sharks, saying Ryan's unhinged slander, paired with Blake's laughable contradictions, might finally crack open the door to proving actual malice. And for anyone who doesn't speak courtroom, that's the magic phrase that makes defamation lawsuits winnable. Blake and Ryan, with their smug PR teams and Hollywood Rolodexes, clearly thought they were invincible. Spoiler alert, they're not.
Blake Lively said that she had experienced much worse in Hollywood than what actually happened on this set.
Let's rewind to Blake Lively's big empowerment moment, the 2018 Met Gala. You remember it, the designer gown, the rented diamonds, and the dramatic declaration that no man defines her identity. The crowd applauded, the cameras flashed, and for a moment, Blake crowned herself feminism's red carpet queen. Fast forward to now, and the irony is brutal. The same woman who preached independence is now hiding behind flimsy harassment claims every time her career hits a wall. It's not strength, it's spin. And the second her movie flopped, out came the victim card like clockwork, her so-called empowerment narrative. It's as stable as a cardboard cutout. Why take accountability when you can cry harassment and hope no one notices the inconsistencies? And let's talk hypocrisy. Her entire legal war is being waged by men. Her loudest defender? Ryan Reynolds, tossing around public insults like a teenager on Twitter. So much for being self-made. She went from "no man defines me" to "Ryan, handle this for me," faster than her team could draft a press release, and Ryan? He wasn't just speaking his mind, he was recklessly disregarding the truth. That's not just bad optics, it's textbook defamation territory. This whole act? It's tired. The public's over it. The same audience that once clapped for Blake's empowerment speeches is now side-eyeing her entire campaign against Baldoni for what it really is, a messy, hypocritical grab for sympathy wrapped in hollow feminist branding. Fans and critics aren't buying the act anymore. The internet has turned on Blake, roasting her for twisting feminism into a legal weapon. Her empowerment speeches? Just polished PR monologues. Her lawsuits? Desperation wearing a mask of justice. And her crusade against Baldoni? Fully exposed for what it truly is, a manipulative, hypocritical charade. Blake's been playing both sides from the start, crying victim when convenient, leaning on powerful men the moment things fall apart, and somehow still expecting the public to stay fooled. But people aren't stupid. They see the cracks. They're connecting the dots. And now, the entire house of cards Blake built on contradictions and curated outrage is finally coming down.
This proves that Ryan Reynolds acted with reckless disregard of the truth.
And with every reckless comment, every flip-flop statement, and every bizarre legal stunt, Blake Lively keeps proving one thing: nobody is better at destroying her own credibility than she is. It's like she's on a personal mission to torch her reputation, one misstep at a time. Welcome to the ongoing train wreck that is her discovery phase, where Blake has essentially confessed she has zero actual proof behind these dramatic accusations of misconduct and retaliation. You'd expect someone making this much noise in public, accusing people of horrific things and posturing as a wronged feminist hero, to have something to back it up. Texts, emails, documents, anything. But nope. Blake's rolling into court with empty folders, pretending like no one's going to notice she forgot to do her homework, that it's all spelled out in the filings. Her own team of highly paid lawyers admits she doesn't have the evidence to support the narrative she's been screaming about for months. The same woman who accused people of being predators, who delivered grand speeches about empowerment, and who's tried to rewrite the story of her downfall into some kind of feminist martyrdom, apparently filed this lawsuit without a single shred of proof. But don't worry, she's got a backup plan. If she can't prove her case, she'll just subpoena random third parties who had nothing to do with any of this in the first place. Instead of presenting real evidence, she's opted for speculative subpoenas and ridiculous document requests. Her legal team is now targeting everyone from Wayfair executives to random low-level employees who probably just wanted to do their jobs and go home, not get pulled into Blake's spiraling circus. And the piece de resistance? She's even going after Justin Baldoni's health coach. Yes, really, a health coach. Because in Blake's world, even recommending probiotics is apparently part of a grand conspiracy against her. You honestly couldn't write satire this wild, yet here she is, doing it all with a straight face and a master plan to what, offend her immune system? Humiliate her digestion? It's straight up comedy at this point. And just when you thought it couldn't get more ridiculous, Blake tried to move the subpoena jurisdiction from California to New York. Why? Because the California judge wasn't buying her nonsense. But guess what? Judge Lehman shut that down immediately. Turns out even the judiciary is tired of Blake treating the court system like a red carpet event. Lehman basically told her, "This isn't your playground," making it clear she can't just drag lawsuits across the country like it's some PR tour, and that's exactly what people have been saying for months. This lawsuit has nothing to do with justice. It's about Blake scrambling to salvage her image while it crumbles faster than one of her box office flops. It's not a case, it's reputation theater. She's not trying to prove anything, she's putting on a show, one where courtrooms are her stage, subpoenas are her props, and credibility is the casualty. But the public? They're not buying it anymore. The audience has caught on, and the reviews are scathing. Meanwhile, while Blake's out here flailing and subpoenaing anyone who's ever made eye contact with Justin Baldoni, Wayfair is actually doing the responsible thing. They're fighting back quietly but efficiently, producing real evidence. Their forensic teams are combing through emails, texts, and server data, and everything is scheduled to be turned over by July 1st, 2025. That's right, while Blake crafts conspiracy theories about probiotics, Wayfair's preparing a digital paper trail that could annihilate her entire narrative, and make no mistake, this isn't just about CEOs in corner offices. Blake's subpoena frenzy includes everyone. Executives, assistants, interns, no one's safe. All dragged into a spectacle none of them asked to be part of, just so Blake can keep pretending she has a case. Probably even the guy who delivers coffee is bracing for a subpoena at this point. Blake's dragnet includes people with zero power and zero resources to fight back against her legal steamroller. Imagine showing up to your day job only to find out you're now part of Blake Lively's public meltdown. Yeah, morale must be thriving at Wayfair.